What's up, crypto legends? I have him here, the legend, Jayson Casper. How are you doing, my man?
Andy, it is an honor to be back on your channel for the first time in about 2 years, a little over 2 years.
Exactly 2 years now since we have done a collaboration, man. I'm really glad that you come to the channel. We do TA, we do trading. You got a great audience. You know, my audience have been asking me, hey, when are you going back with Jayson Casper for a collaboration? We absolutely love it. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just slowly walking to the moon, baby. That's where we're going.
Absolute legend, man. I absolutely love it. You, Jayson Casper, walking on the treadmill. Smash up the like button. Leave a comment if you want me to start doing TA on a treadmill like Jayson Casper.
It'll change your life, man.
Absolutely. I'm sure. Do sport, do trading. You know, what a great combination. Right, Jayson, let me know a little bit, how you've been doing on the bear market. What's been happening in your personal life with trading, with are you accumulating? What are your bearish targets? What do you see entering into 2024? Give us a little bit of your opinion with the crypto market, my man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, the bear market, it's always a trader's market, right? So I've just been trading and accumulating I've been accumulating Bitcoin and Tether basically. And I did buy a lot of Bitcoin on spot, especially when we dumped under 20K. And depending on what happens within the next few months, I may be buying more on spot if, some of the bearish targets are in fact hit. So we're going to have to wait and see because, as far as a prediction goes for Bitcoin, I can't say that I am super bullish or bearish. I'm open to different possibilities, and then I will react accordingly because I have a plan for either a bullish scenario or a more bearish scenario than what a lot of people want,
Yeah, me too. I mean, I am stacking up some altcoins. Obviously, this is like buying the dip and it keeps dipping, buying the dip and it keeps dipping, right? So they are kind of bleeding with time, but I'm not going to, I'm not really buying that much. So I'm like slowly dollar cost averaging. I'm saving some cash on the sidelines for whatever could happen, right? Because, we know what happened back in 2020. We had that C19 crash, which gave the best buying opportunity basically in crypto and stocks in general. So we need to have a little bit of cash on the sidelines, right? Just in case we do get one of those black swan events, recessions, so we're ready to build up wealth after that crash, right?
Absolutely. And you're never gonna get as much out of the market as possible. So the way I look at it is I keep some cash on the sidelines. If I don't get to deploy at the prices I want, well, at least I'm in to some degree, and at least I can still profit. So a lot of people get bent around the axle of like, how do you know when to buy? It's like you just have your levels where you want to DCA. If they don't all get hit, they don't all get hit.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly, man. So about this bearish market in crypto, we got a very mixed sentiment. I ask my community and it's like 50-50. Some think that the bull run is going to happen, just like previous cycles, entering into 2025, right after the halving. And some of the people say this time is different. We entering into a massive worldwide recession, the US as well. Bitcoin will be going down to 10K and even 8K, right? What is your personal sentiment, opinion on this? As you have been here on previous cycles. So, just a little bit of your opinion on what do you think is coming next?
Yeah, for sure. Let me pull up a chart right here. So, basically I look at these cycles and there's two things that really stand out to me, which is about 365 days before the halving, we bottom out in between the 786 and the 886 fib, like every single time. The green dotted line is 365 days before the halving. The white line is the halving. And, it happened in 2011, it happened in 2015, it happened in 2019. It's currently happening right now. However, it's important to notice that sometimes we dip way down to that 886 level. In fact, this time around, this is the most shallow retrace we've gotten when it comes to the fib levels out of all the market cycles, right? We just kind of graced the 786, and then we got the the relief rally. And so in my mind, if we're going to go by the 4-year cycle, I would say that we can expect that the bottom of the cycle is in this area here, because historically speaking, this has been the bottom of the cycle.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that the bottom is in price wise, because, you know, when we take a look at other cycles as well, a lot of times we do get more of a retracement in 3 ways, you know, like this, right? And we haven't really seen that this time, right? We saw it back here in 2015. We saw it here, 1, 2, 3, bam. And so right now we've got 1, 2. Are we going to get that big last move down to the 886 fib? Now, the reason why I say we could see lower is for the same reasons you were saying on my channel previously, is that throughout Bitcoin's history, we've been in a bull market, right? Bitcoin was created right after the recession in 2007, 2008. So this entire time has been the Fed just pumping money into existence out of nowhere. And what do you know? There's this new thing called Bitcoin that we could put all this new money into. So what happens during a recession? Well, we don't know. And so we do need to be open for more downside. And I really like that $9,000-$10,000 level for a super bearish scenario for a number of reasons, because it really does give us a beautiful kind of support resistance flip right here. And it comes down to the fib level, and it maintains the 4-year cycle without, it doesn't break the cycle, but it also allows for one more big drop that will really shake out, you know, a lot of the weak hands. For sure. And this would be a great opportunity, in my opinion, for buying on spot. When we go down to the weekly right now, I've been short since around 31,500, honestly. And I'm just kind of looking at this range that we've got right here. Because historically speaking, also a year before the halving, we trade a range, right? Like basically after we bottomed out in the bear market, we traded this range right here, right? And then we broke out, and we can go back in time, and it's pretty much always the same. And we oftentimes put in a double bottom. In fact, I'm pretty sure every single cycle we put in somewhat of a double bottom. Sometimes it's a higher low, like what we did back here. But you know, if we go back to 2015, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, look at this. We actually put in a lower low. We bottomed out right here. We put in a lower low, and that means, you know, I mean, this is obviously that's a crazy drop, right? And so there's a few areas that I'm looking at, given the fact that the weekly did give us a bearish divergence here when we came up into that key zone of resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like this, where eventually we make our way back down to the bottom of that range, leading right up into the halving, and then bam. So where that low is going to come in, I definitely lean more bearish right now. Either a higher low or a lower low. That basically means I have no idea, but I'm prepared for both scenarios, because I am short, and I know where I want to DCA in. So basically anything under 20K, anything under this wick that we put in right here, that is where I will begin once again to DCA.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the thing people need to remember about DCA, because a lot of people get wrecked DCAing because they find out about Bitcoin right here, and then they learn about DCA and they're buying. We have to remember that the cycle is on our side right now, right? The TA is on our side. Historically speaking, when we come down to the fib levels, the 786, 886 fib, and when Market Cipher B prints the green dot on the monthly, that's the bottom of the bear cycle. So the technicals right now are saying any retrace we get is going to be bullish
long
in
term.
the long run. For certain. And also, let's say like that let's say we do drop down to 10K, right? Let's say we drop down to 3K. That's an extreme scenario, right? Let's say we drop down to 3K. if we drop down to 3K and Bitcoin hits $100,000, this is, if we take this off log scale, this is a 5-to-1 risk reward ratio, meaning if we are DCAing under 20K and Bitcoin comes down to 3K, but then that new all-time high gets put in at 100,000, which in my opinion, that's a pretty reasonable target. We're still making 5 times more reward than risk. And I know this is a spot scenario, so we can't really, we can't really use risk reward the same way we would with leverage, but it's riskier to not buy Bitcoin, in my opinion, than it is to be buying, because the probabilities are in our favor.
Absolutely agree with that, man. Yeah, I mean, if there is that scenario, like you said, that there could be, obviously you're bearish, for the next coming months. I'm also quite bearish, in the midterm, right, entering into 2024. The question is, how low can we go? Can we hit 20,000, 19,000 and get a bounce around about that range? Or are we going to drop down to lower levels? So we do have the same opinion on, it's likely to be bearish in the next coming months. So the question is, how low can we go? Well, as we do not know that for a certain, like you said, dollar cost averaging, from that $20,000 region to lower levels is just going to be the best strategy you can do for the next coming months. So totally agree on you there. Yeah,
it's definitely, an opportunity that we only get once every 4 years. And I'm at the point where, this is going to be my third bull market. Wow. And the first 2 have been very good for me. And so if this one just so happens to not work out, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, I'll move on to the next endeavor.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're a trader as well at the end of the day, right? You do some trading and you're pretty successful. So at the end of the day, in the bear market, I think you've been doing pretty good at trading in the bear market. I've been absolutely phenomenal. I've been stacking up some Bitcoin, some great Bitcoin trades. I usually trade Bitcoin most of the time, like 90% of my trading is Bitcoin. How about you? Do you actually do altcoins or mainly Bitcoin or stock market?
Yeah, I've been doing mainly Bitcoin, some altcoins. I've recently started trading S&P, NASDAQ, and I'm going to start moving into some Forex pairs. I've been trading on BingX, which is you can use your tether as margin, which is like, that's good for me because I'm not trying to open up a traditional brokerage account or anything, but I still want to take advantage of those markets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you have stocks there as well on BingX, right?
Yeah, you can trade anything on BingX, like stocks, commodities, Forex, indices, everything.
Nice, man. Yeah. Well, Jayson, thank you for your opinion on this. What do you think is coming around? Obviously I am leaning a bit bearish as well. You too. Where is that low going to be printed, right? So that's a very interesting topic for the next coming months, but overall DCAing is the best thing to do. Jayson, where can my community find you?
Well, there's a website called youtube.com. And if you search Jayson Casper, I'm there, walking on the treadmill every day. Twitter at Jayson Casper. And yeah, that's about it, man.
Nice, man. Yeah, guys, I'll be leaving the links down below in the description so you can follow this absolute legend. I mean, you've been walking on the treadmill and doing analysis for several weeks right now. I've checked out some of your latest videos and they're absolutely epic, man. Great job.
For sure, man. Yeah. All right, Andy, thank you so much for having me on, man. God bless you.
All right, brother. Speak to you soon.
Peace.